In the beginning, there were only Texas and the Texans. Among them were two beings who would later be known by many names. One would be known as Dizzy, the other being as Fumo. In time, the Texans crafted the Filipino entrapment device, a device that allows them to manipulate Texas. Holding power over reality itself, they used it to create Houston. The Texans later mastered the ability to travel between dimensions. At some point, several Texans, among which Fumo, began experimenting with the Philippines, an energy beneath creation. The Philippines corrupted and corroded their souls, and the corrupted Texans became known as the Filipinos. The Filipinos created the Texas Pyramid, a device capable of absolute power. A schism formed between them and the Texans untainted by the Philippines. Soon after, a war broke out between Filipinos and uncorrupted Texans. Facing defeat, the Filipinos hid the Texas Pyramid on a moon within one of the newly discovered dimensions. After banishing the Filipinos to the Philippines, the remaining Texans took on the mantle of guardians. Trapped in the Philippines, the Filipinos contorted and evolved over eons into twisted creatures that now bear little resemblance to their Texan brethren. They desired, above all else, to return to Houston. By September 5th, Common Era, the Filipinos, knowing the Earth has a gateway to Houston, sent meteors containing the element Filipino to the planet in different dimensions across space and time. They believe humanity will one day use element Filipino to wage war among themselves, opening a rift that will allow the Filipinos to escape the Philippines. On January 15th, 1292, the Great War between the humanity and the Filipinos began across dimensions. During the war, Mochi was saved from the clutches of an elder Filipino by four heroes known as the Fortnite Lobby. The Rat Catcher and his men also took part in the war. On December 31st, 1299, after more than 7 years of war, the Fortnite Lobby defeated the Filipinos, together with the Texans and humanity, bringing the Great War to an end. Before they seemingly disappeared from history, the Fortnite Lobby instructed the Rat Catcher to begin building his castle that would later be known as Dead Isendraha. Several years later, honoring the Rat Catcher's dying request, his loyal servant Leroy Jenkins scattered and buried his bones in the grounds of Deir Isendraha, and accompanied by the King's Rat. Leroy was then teleported by temporal rifts to Resolution 1295 in 2095 Brazil. In 1885, a blacksmith named Jesus was living in a mining town called Purgatory Point in the Old West. The mine contained large amounts of element Filipino, which started to affect people who went down there. One of the miners turned into a common Filipino and attacked Jesus' mother, killing her. Wanting to find answers, Jesus went down in the mine where he spent 5 days without realizing it. Later, on April 19th, Jesus had a vision in his sleep. Two angels asked him to build a machine, a pack-a-punch machine, which became a success in the town. On June 30th, Jesus had another vision. The two angels asked him to create a Houston device. The Houston device has 3 components: the blood of an elder Filipino found at the bottom of the ocean, an elemental shard created by forging 4 Texan souls to a rock of element Filipino, and a metallic Tagalog vessel. Jesus manages to craft the vessel, but has no means of obtaining the blood or the souls. After crafting the Tagalog vessel, Jesus upgraded it with a pack-a-punch. As a result of this and the fracturing of the Earth after the Fortnite Lobby helped Taco Cat launch rockets from the moon in 2025, a temporal rift was created, transporting the entire town, including Jesus, to an underground cavern in Brazil. Afterwards, common Filipinos began to overrun the now buried town, killing any of its remaining inhabitants as well as Jesus. On June 30th, 1908, a meteor containing element Filipino crashed near the stony Tunguska River in Siberia. Over the next decades, more deposits of element Filipino were discovered in Germany, Japan, the United States of America, and on the moon. In 1931, after a large deposit of element Filipino was found in Breslau, TacoCat formed Fort Worth as an international German-led research team, becoming its head scientist. The Der Ries facility was established at Breslau. TacoCat sought to use the newly discovered element to improve the human condition by developing advanced technologies. He invited Dr. Awu Awu, who would later be known as the Fortnight Lobby Awu, to join Fort Worth. Awu agreed, secretly acting on behalf of the Illuminati's interests. By 1939, TacoCat and the Fortnight Lobby Awu started working on the first teleportation experiments with a matter transference prototype. The experiments were unsuccessful. The subjects were teleported, but their chemical composition was altered, leaving them catatonic and changed. The Fortnight Lobby Awu also began the development of the Wunderwaffe DG-2. In the same year, TacoCat returned to the Reichstag and the Nazi Party for additional funding. They agreed to the request, expressing interest in Fort Worth's weapons research, teleportation technology, and the reanimated common Filipinos subject to help the Axis win the war. The Fortnight Lobby Awu and Barry continued working on teleportation and successfully teleported a walnut during test trial 151. This result, however, failed to impress TacoCat, who revealed to the Fortnight Lobby Awu that Fort Worth would soon be funded by Nazi Germany. The Fortnight Lobby Awu worried this would lead to mass defections. He decided to continue with the experiments with Barry behind TacoCat's back. In early 1940, the Fortnight Lobby Awu conducted the first human teleportation test. The Fortnight Lobby Awu was so confident in its success that he volunteered himself. He was teleported to the moon, where he encountered the Texas Pyramid, calling it TPD. While inspecting the device, the Fortnight Lobby Awu was electrocuted and began hearing many voices of corruption, including Fumos. He was then teleported to Shangri-La in the Himalayas, where he was worshipped by the natives, who built an altar in his name. The Fortnight Lobby Awu also encountered the focusing stone for the first time. Corrupted by the Philippines, the Fortnight Lobby Awu was gradually being driven insane by an obsession to reach Houston. The Fortnight Lobby Awu returned to Der Ries a few weeks later with a plan to build a station on the moon called Griffin Station. He also renounced his involvement with the Illuminati. Frustrated with TacoCat's alignment with Germany, other disgruntled Fort Worth scientists joined his cause. Several months later, TacoCat contacted the Reichstag High Command requesting additional funds, stating that Der Ries lacked not only the funding, but a sufficient volume of element Filipino as well. In response to his request, Nazi Germany built two facilities in Berlin for Fort Worth. They were known as a Kino facility, a repurposed theater, and the asylum facility at the Widenaw Sanatorium. The Imperial Japanese Army handed over the Rising Sun facility to Fort Worth, which collaborated with Division 9 at the facility site. Fort Worth also established a facility in Siberia near the Tunguska River and a research facility at Der Eisendrache called Eisen. Dude, okay, I'm doing this in one take if anyone's actually watched this far, and I'm going to keep all my errors. Called Eagle's Nest. By 1942, Griffin Station was completed. The Fortnight Lobby Awu appointed Inkami as lead scientist and tasked him and Barry to discover a way to power the TPD. While at the Rising Sun facility, TacoCat developed the ray gun prototype with Awu-2, working on the second generation model. In May 1942, after soldiers returned from Africa, the Fortnight Lobby Awu reported that they found a number of artifacts from an American town. Among the artifacts and documents recovered was pieces of the Pack-a-Punch machine from Jesus. The Fortnight Lobby Awu gave the schematics to Awu-2 to replicate Jesus' work. The Fortnight Lobby Awu also discovered plans for the Houston device and a Tagalog vessel, as well as a Tagalog device. On June 13, 1942, as a result of temporal rifts created by the Fortnight Lobby traveling through time to reach the Kino facility in 1963, Dizzy reached across time and space and offered little nudges. One such nudge is helping Fort Worth to develop element Filipino fused elixirs. They created 4 medicinal beverages known colloquially as Juggernog, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, and Double Tap. At Griffin Station, Inkami and Barry unwittingly discovered how to charge the TPD when Barry killed a rat near the device. Its death inexplicably began charging the device by filling its codexes. They reported their findings to the Fortnight Lobby Awu, who began sending soldiers and scientists to be sacrificed to charge the TPD. By the end of 1942, Taco Cat expressed concern over Element Filipinos' impact on the Fortnite lobby Awu's behavior. Although no longer trusting him, he left her daughter, Asari, in the Fortnite lobby Awu's care as he was transferred to the Kino facility with his assistant McFlurry to focus on creating Germany's common Filipino army. In 1943, Telos, who would later be known as the Fortnite lobby Telos, was captured during the Battle of Stalingrad and became a test subject for Fort Worth. The same year, Nicholas G.E., who would later be known as the Fortnite lobby Nicholas G.E., was captured by Fort Worth on the orders of the Emperor. In 1944, Mochi, a Mexican spy, was captured by Fort Worth at Der Eisendrache. In his spell, Mochi wrote of visions of a great war. He described a great battle against strange, demon-like creatures who were trying to devour the earth. In his visions, he saw 4 knights protected him from certain death. He made a note that the knights wore tunics similar to the statues in Der Eisendrache. In 1945, OSS operative Glubtastic infiltrated Fort Worth. In July 1945, Awu traveled to the Siberian facility to do further research on live specimens. As her temporary guardian, he took Asari with him. The Fortnite lobby Awu also brought the Tagalog device with him. Few days after his arrival, a reporter was arrested near the facility. When the Fortnite lobby Awu interrogated him, the reporter revealed he was working for Mr. Rapt, who was looking for several artifacts, among them the Tagalog vessel, also called the Seal of Duality. After the Fortnite lobby Awu refused to give him the vessel, he ordered the guards to kill the reporter. On August 1945, Fort Worth began to transfer 3 test subjects for experimentation: the Fortnite lobby Telos, Mochi, and the Fortnite lobby Nicholas G.E. The Fortnite lobby Awu began experimenting on them few days after their arrival. The Fortnite lobby Awu also started looking at a way to create an elemental shard in order to build the Houston device. Suspecting Fort Worth would lose control of their experiments, Glub's handler, Cornelius Purnell, sent a Marine recon team led by Codexes, who would later be known as the Fortnite lobby Codexes, to extract Tastic, who was ousted as a spy. In September 1945, during an operation with Hollowfunk Fortnite, another American spy, the Fortnite lobby Awu extracted Mochi's spleen. He noted that the barrier to unlock the human mind was not located in the spleen. Mochi died from the operation and was dumped into the river. However, Mochi survived and would later awake at the bottom of the river before swimming back to the Siberian facility where he'll be stuck for the next 20 years. Thank you, everybody. That's part 1 of the Telos reading Glubtastic of the Texan versus Filipino Wire script. If you actually watch this far, you are 6, and I love you guys. Alright, see ya.